Hey guys, it's Jay Fishing here. Yesterday I started building a backyard pond to put some fish in as one of my quarantine things, and now I'm going to show you guys how to build your very own. It's not that hard, but it takes a while, and I'd say the work pays off. I'll see you guys in a bit. So, here's mine right here. I started it yesterday, and as you can see, I've gone very far. I started by finding the flattest piece in my backyard, which was where my old swing set used to be, and I started digging that out till I got about a foot deep, and I used all the stuff that I dug out and created this wall right here, stacked some rocks up for support, and then I ran to my local Home Depot and bought a liner. This liner is a 13 by 10 foot, and it's very thick and it has nice threading to it to avoid punctures, and I think it was around 65 bucks. It's a little expensive, but I mean, you don't want it to break or anything. So then once I did all that, I made sure that I wetted all this dirt down and patted it down with my feet just so it wouldn't crumble away easily. And over the night I protected it by starting to put up this chicken wire fence right here. I recommend getting these if you don't want deer or bunnies to get in, and it will just protect it from most things. Digging your hole. When you're digging your hole, I used a flat shovel and a pitchfork. The pitchfork loosened up the soil and got all the grass roots ripped apart, and then I just shoveled it out and stacked it on the side to start my wall, and it worked great. Just when you're leveling out the bottom, make sure to get all the rocks out, anything sharp, because it could puncture your liner with pressure on it, or just water pressure and water weight. And then once you put your liner in with that, I like to just walk on the liner, make sure all the bubbles are out, make sure it's firm and tight against the ground, just to make sure it won't slip and kind of create a giant air bubble on the bottom, which you don't want. Yeah. And then I brought my hose down and just hooked it up to a nozzle that would spray pretty far and get a lot of water out at once, and started filling this up. It holds about 350-ish gallons right now, and the water temps around high 50s, which is good for now, but the sun will generally heat up the water. I have the shallow end right here. I can show you guys. And then over here I have a deeper end. Okay, what fish to put in the pond? So it depends on how deep it is, what type of water, and generally what's native to your area. I'm using fresh water. It's hard to put up with a saltwater pond, and I'm generally, because it's 1 to 2 feet deep throughout the whole thing, I'm gonna stick with fish that aren't prone to jumping or trying to get out, because they can jump out of this, and that would be bad to happen. Because if the fish is expensive, like a rare catfish or arowana or arapaima, that could be a lot of money down the drain for your fish to drown because it jumped out. So if you're gonna go off of my way, I'll stick with goldfish, small bass, unless they get big. Smallmouth should be fine, but a largemouth, if it gets big and you feed it a lot, it might jump out if it sees a fly or something. And then frogs will be fine. They might go and come back as they wish, but hopefully they'll stay near the water. Depends what type of frog. Turtles should be fine. Depends the turtle too. If they have claws, they could rip your liner, so make sure eventually that you get pebble bottom. And you can even use rocks from your woods, which is what I got most of these rocks from. I just put them in a wheelbarrow, clean them off, make sure you clean them off so the dirt doesn't dirty your water, and then just toss them in. And that should work if you have something with claws that will sit on the bottom, because you really don't want that liner to break. If your liner does break but you don't know it did, you'll see bubbles coming up from the bottom, almost like you're blowing bubbles, but the liner is. That means oxygen is getting in from the bottom and there's a whole tear or rip. You're gonna want to get that fixed immediately before the whole bottom becomes soaked and soggy and wet and your liner rips into a bigger hole. You can get seam tape or just get a new liner, but that's gonna be a little pricey if you're gonna buy a whole new liner. So I'd recommend just getting tape if you do find a hole. For the seams of your liner, once you get it all fixed in the hole, I like to cover it in a clay dirt mixture, which in my backyard at least, if I dig like about 1.5 feet deep, I'll find clay. I put it into a wheelbarrow, then mix it with my hands until it is a clay dirt mixture, which is a little orange and a darker brown, and it's super sticky and molds the stuff really easily, and it hardens with sunlight and drying out, and I find that to work quite well when I'm packing stuff down. A pH level, so you can buy these offline at Home Depot. A lot of places sell them. It's a water testing kit. You can either get the little strips, they're like paper strips that are colored, and you dip it in the water. Then when you take it out, it will turn a certain color from like red to green, and it's the pH level, or the acidic level. And if you check on the back of the bottle or whatever it came in, it tells you a chart of what that means, what the color means. And I think, don't trust this, but I think for a goldfish you want it between 7 and 7.5 pH, and that should be fine for a lot of other fish too. But make sure to check before you put any fish in the pH, because your fish could die within an hour if the pH is too high or low. Okay, I think that just about wraps up my pond video. I hope you guys like it. Like, comment with any questions you have or any ideas you have of what should I add to this pond, any fish or vegetation or decoration, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. It's been fun.